Hello, my name is Jeremy Pasimio. This is the final presentation for Team B. Our team is comprised of myself, Robert Bierman, Eli Hanna, and Kendra Neal. Our project choice for the semester was the online education portal. To begin with, I will be going through a demonstration of our final user interface design. This design is the fourth iteration that we have come up with through the duration of the semester, our third since the midterm. As far as the walkthrough of the user interface from the student side of things, I do recommend going back and watching our first video, as much of the content is still the same. As you can see, it is just polished up and much better looking, moving beyond just hand-drawn sketches. The functionality is very much the same. Most of the feedback we got was around consistency button placement, such as having a home button, making sure that our nav bar on the left was well laid out and provided highlighting to demonstrate where in the site you're at, such as right here you can see Module 1 is highlighted to show that is where you are at. Most of the functionality that has been added since our first presentation has been on the instructor side of the site, so I'm just going to scroll down to there right now and we'll go over that in more detail. When the instructor logs in, this is a sample home page demonstrating for the Calculus 2 course. You can see that we have alerts at the top under needs attention for students that are having unusually low scores. That way they can get in touch with the student or even suggest content such as extra presentations, videos, etc. to help bring those scores up. Class statistics for the current offering or for all time if this class has been offered repeatedly, along with what the pass rate and drop rate has been for the class. So if you're looking at your all-time view and you have a really low pass rate or really high drop rate, maybe the class needs to be reevaluated. Is it not laid out well enough? The students obviously aren't learning the material, so what needs to be changed? Also basic class settings as far as setting weight values to different exams and quizzes, adjusting when due dates are, and showing selecting whether or not modules are available for students to view. We're going to take a quick look at editing a course. From here you could set the maximum class size. Say the instructor is only able to run the class by themselves and they have zero help whatsoever, they might want to restrict the class size down a little bit, or maybe they have a grader and a couple of teacher's aides, they could have a larger class. We could set the duration of the course, whether it's going to be a 6-week course, 8-week course, 15-week course, however they want to have it set up. The modules are all organized at the bottom. From here we can either add a new module, at which point you can tag the module itself, add videos, quizzes, lecture notes, and presentations. You can also edit an existing module. This just shows an example of if you already have a video and a quiz, we could add multiple videos and quizzes to this module, again, as well as lecture notes, presentations, etc. For the videos, one of the things that we really wanted to make sure to highlight and include would be a functionality to place a bookmark in the video at a particular timestamp. This would allow for, say, this video, which is almost 2 hours long. Obviously, there are going to be a lot of different topics in that. If a student needs to go back and review a particular topic, you don't want to have to scrub through the entire video trying to find where they talked about it. So having the ability to put in a bookmark for a particular topic, so you could say right at the 17-minute mark, that's where they're going to talk about this topic, would make it much easier for the students to review material. Also, the idea of having quizzes built into the video, so at checkpoints, the video will stop, pop up a quiz, and you have to answer the questions right before it continues on to help cement these topics in place, as well as making sure that we have each video with multiple tags for the topics that are in it. That way, if a student is just browsing for content, they're just looking for an assortment of videos on a particular topic, they can search by tag, get a nice organized list of content to review. The quizzes, it's a fairly basic setup built right into the site, allowing them to write a question, a couple of different answers, and then select which one of those answers is the correct one. That concludes the user interface walkthrough, and now I'll be passing it over to Rob to discuss our architectural design and our progress thus far.
Hi, I'm Robert, and I'll be demonstrating our architectural prototype and discussing our process and project status. For the architectural prototype, we chose to focus on the use case of a student registering for a course. We begin from the assumption that our user, Mary, is on the course overview page for Calculus 2 and is ready to register for the course. So let's jump over to Eclipse so we can see this process in action. So here in Eclipse, we can see that we've got a driver class, which essentially acts as our application controller. And then we've got various classes for other objects and actors within the system: course, student, instructor, etc. For this case, we're mainly focused on the student and course objects. So let's go ahead and run this. So here we see the information that you would see on the course overview page. A couple important points to note. There is a prerequisite for this course for Calculus 1. There are currently no students enrolled in the course, and our student, Mary, she is currently not enrolled in any courses. So we pretend we're Mary, we hit enter to register for the course. So here we can see some of the things that happen in the background. So the controller needs to check prerequisites for the course. It goes, gets Mary's completed courses, compares that against the prerequisite, Calculus 1, determines that Mary has completed Calculus 1 for engineers, so it determines that the prerequisites are complete, so it's okay to move on to the next step. Next thing, we need to make sure that there's space in the course, so we check the enrollment limit, determine that there is space available in the course here, and so then we move on with enrolling the student in the course, which involves adding the student to the course roster and adding the course to the student's list of enrolled courses. So here we can see that Mary's course list now contains Calculus for Engineers 2, and the course roster now has Mary Brown enrolled in the course. So that is our architectural prototype. Now back over to the slideshow to discuss the process and project status. So as Jeremy mentioned, we completed 4 UI iterations and we completed 2 architectural iterations. As far as feedback goes, for the UI phase, feedback from our peers and interviewees was very helpful, as it helped us get on the same page as far as consistency throughout the application. For the architectural prototype, 2 of us, Kendra and Eli, worked together to build a prototype according to the class and other UML diagrams that we had built, which they then gave to the other 2 of us for review and feedback. While the prototype performed well and accurately represented the use case, it needed some additional outputs to demonstrate that each action in the flow was actually being performed. So we added more outputs in response to that feedback. If we were to implement the full project, it's safe to say that various elements in both the UI and architectural design would change. As the team would work to implement the design, it's inevitable that we would come across items in the UI or system design that aren't necessarily a good fit or that could be more efficient and so forth. So the UI design definitely informed the system design because it helped us visualize. Having a sequence of visible pages and possible user actions in regards to the use case definitely helped us conceptualize the architecture and how that should work. Techniques we've learned in class were definitely helpful. As I think we've demonstrated in our presentations and in our architectural specification, we've made use of the majority of the techniques we've learned. The big exception being design patterns. That material came a little late in the class, so we didn't have much time to give much thought to how we could apply what we'd learned. We did discuss as a team that if we were to move forward with implementation of the project, that the observer pattern would be extremely useful throughout, given the model view controller nature of the underlying design. And we would inevitably recognize opportunities to apply other patterns as well. We believe that we demonstrated fairly clearly in the midterm presentation that we had conformed to the UCD process, and we continued to apply the same process in each of our UI iterations since then. For the architectural phase, we also applied many of the principles of the engineering design process. We defined the problem, we generated ideas, we created models and prototypes, we tested, evaluated, and implemented a prototype. Then we refined the design and went through another brief iteration of the latter steps. And now we're communicating the process via this presentation in our architectural specification. We ended up right where we wanted to be as far as the project schedule. There were some phases where we got a little behind an already tight schedule, just due to the usual problems with coordinating across time zones, work, illnesses, and whatnot, but we always pulled together as a team to get back on schedule quickly and accomplish all of our project goals. How would we fare with a full implementation? This team has worked particularly well together, so we have no doubt that if we were to move forward and fully implement this project, we would be successful. Process-wise, we feel that all of our efforts have converged on results that we are proud of and that we feel would be a strong foundation for full implementation. As far as team dynamics go, when we disagreed on things, we worked out agreeable solutions quickly. We've helped and supported each other, and it's been a very democratic experience, with each of us stepping up at various points to take the lead when indecision crept in. Given this, we think we would fare very well with a true implementation. Thank you, and good night.